Hey guys, it's Kelly Ann and welcome to another Flossy Friday. It is July 16th and it has still been a really crazy week. By the way, Potter and Stella are doing fantastic. They are currently both sleeping on my bed, all cuddled up in a ball together. So that's always so fun to see. I'm still amazed at how much they like each other. I've had other pets and cats like each other, but not to the limits that they do. So it's really nice to see. But they're doing really good. And so work this week has been the week-long training. And we're currently on a break at the moment. So I'm going to sneak in recording this because it's going to be pretty short. But it's just been an overload of information. I did the first part for the interview process for the job that I went up for, so we will see. The first part you had until today at 1 p.m. and it's not 1 p.m. yet, so at the time of recording this. So we will see, but fingers crossed, you guys. Interview should be next week. And so that's all really exciting. I have some really fun stuff in the works for stitching stuff, and can't really talk about it yet, but it's going to be really cool. So I'm excited to be working on that, and yeah, it's really exciting. And then what else? There's some exciting stuff going on in my personal life as well, that I don't know, it's a really great week. It's a really great week. I'm looking forward to this weekend, and while I have a ton of studying and reviewing to do for the interview next week, I am going to have some fun and relax this weekend. So I have gotten in as much stitching as I possibly could this last weekend and week, because I have been trying to get a fair amount of sleep. I've been trying to get some studying in, and I've also been trying to actually get some stitching in, and I've been taking advantage of stitching during our lunch break, and we get like 2 or 3 little 15-minute breaks throughout the day. So I've been leaving it next to me, and whenever we're on a break, I run to the bathroom, and then I get a little bit of stitching in. So I do have a finish for you guys, and I have a new start, and I'm closing in on a finish on that one too. And they're all a part of the same series, the hands-on design series around the holidays. So last year, oh, it's right here. Last year I finished the Oh Say Can You See from this series. It was kind of like the summery beachy pattern of the collection. So this one is done, and I love this one. And I'm doing the whole series on 32 count Lugana Picture This Plus Regency, which is a really, really nice neutral. There's a little bit of modeling, but it's not so crazy that it takes away from the colors and the stitching. And you can see colors like white, which sometimes in lighter neutrals, for me, it's harder for me to see them in person. But yeah, so you can see them. You can see them better not in direct light of the ring light, but yes. So that one is done. I always have like a Potter hair that feels like is permanently attached to the bottom of my nose and like tickling my face. Anyways, okay, so I finished Where Liberty Dwells, and I didn't do the called for colors, but I did the called for colors mostly. So like I didn't always, like in these, I didn't always pick like the same blue or the same reds or the same like gold or green, but I used the same colors. The only place where I drastically changed the colors is in the flowers and in the fence. So, and last week I kept on calling it Sunbonnet Sue's. Black-Eyed Susans is what I was trying to say. The Maryland State flower, that's what I was trying to get it to look more like. Also kind of like a sunflower, but more like Black-Eyed Susans. And for whatever reason, Sunbonnet Sue was just stuck in my head. And I knew, I even said it last week, I was like, that's not the right thing. But anyways, it was just stuck in my head. These were supposed to be white with blue in the center, and you outlined them in red. And I'm personally not a fan of backstitching outlines if it doesn't, I'm trying to phrase it. Like, I love backstitched pieces if you need the backstitch to make it come alive. If you're using backstitch, for me personally, to make it stand out because you picked a really light color, and to like basically outline it so that way it's visible, I'm not a fan of that style of backstitch. I still think it's pretty. There's nothing wrong with it, but I just don't like to do backstitch for backstitch sake, if that makes sense. So what I decided to do was change the flower. Also, like, this whole little landscape really reminds me of where my family is from in Maryland, and it's the state flower, the Black-Eyed Susans. And so it just kind of made sense. But where my family is from is Carroll County. And that covers a lot of area. But a lot of my family lives in the Carroll County area, and there's just this beautiful big open pastures with barns just like this. And the fences, a lot of the wood fences around here are not white, which is what the pattern was. They were white fences. They're brown fences, but also up there, it's a lot of brown fences. So to me, it just made more sense visually to what I'm used to seeing. So anyways, Where Liberty Dwells, absolutely love this. I have not fully finished it yet. I think I'm just gonna wait until I have the rest of them all done and FFO them all at the same time. Obviously this one I did like a year ago, so it already is a pillow. But very cute, and that's Where Liberty Dwells. And you can really see like more of the modeling of the fabric and how it's not super like crazy. Regency. This is a really, really great one. So the next one that I started is Live Within Your Harvest, which I need to get better at that myself. Working on it, right? We're a work in progress. This one I did change up a fair amount of the colors. I darkened up the green. The sunflowers I pretty much left the same. I picked a darker purple for her apron, but I am going to change the dress to a blue. And then I changed up some of the colors in the quilts. But I still have the words and her apron and dress to finish. So I'm very close to finishing. Hopefully I can get it finished this weekend. And by this weekend I mean today, because I'm off on an adventure for the rest of the weekend. But this is where I'm at. I love sunflowers. They're one of my favorite flowers. I liked the little apples. I thought about making one a Granny Smith just because I enjoy doing that kind of thing. The corn is just absolutely adorable. And there's even like backstitch for like the little corn hairs, if you can see that. And the quilts, so my love-hate relationship with purples. I like purple as a color. I was in a sorority. Our colors were purple and white. I had to wear a lot of purple. It's not my favorite color to wear. It's not my favorite color. It's just not my favorite color personally. There's nothing wrong with it. I prefer blues and things like that. Purples, I like them if they're a little bit more on the pinky side, I guess. So I decided, so you can see here, there's a green, which I didn't want to use. I don't know anybody in New Jersey. Well, I do, but I have their number. Anyways, so, sorry about that, you guys. Anyways, you can see that the green in the corner is supposed to be the same green as on the sunflowers and the corn. And so I wanted to like brighten that up a little bit. And I also, instead of doing the two purples, I wanted to add in a brighter blue, still do the muted blue, but I wanted to add a pink in there. So, because that's kind of more like my vibe. So, I moved the brighter blue to the corners to like brighten it up, and that's actually the color that I'm going to use on her dress. So, I think it's going to look really cool with her apron being that color. And part of me kind of wishes, honestly, that I would have picked like a burnt orange for the apron. And I think that's just because I personally want a burnt orange garden apron. It's just me, like, just, you know, wishing, right? And actually, my friend Ashley has a pattern to make a gardening apron. The ones that, you know, like crisscross in the back. So it's like, it's all kind of like continuous. You don't have to tie anything. So it's basically just a giant piece of fabric with the straps that crisscross, so you go in it like that or whatever. Anyways, it has the same like open back concept on the back, but I really want a burnt orange one. I don't know why. That's just what I want. Like a rust, not burnt orange, like a rusty orange. Anyways, I think those colors would look really pretty together. And so I just wanted to brighten up the quilts, and these are actually, so not the first quilt that I ever started on my own, but the first quilt that I ever completed on my own were these colors. So I was just also drawn to how fun would that be. I think it would also be really cool if you do this pattern to maybe change the colors for every single quilt. I think that could look really cool. Kind of wish I would have done that. I'm not going to pick it out and redo it. I did make a small minor mistake in one of them, but you can't tell, and it's all good because there are no set rules in cross stitch. So yes, I need to finish her little apron, which I'm almost done with. Then I just have to do her sleeves, the bottom of her dress, and the words. So hopefully all of that goes rather quickly. And then I know that I said I was going to then continue working on Put on the Hat, which is the Halloween one. It's already started, and by started I mean there's like 25 stitches on the witch's hat. It's not really like a start. But I'm kind of thinking against that. Mainly because I've already cut out that piece of the fabric. And so I really want to do the next one so that way I can just go on this whole chunk, and then do, you know, the last one on this chunk so that way the rest of this can go in my stash for some other smaller pieces. So that's kind of like Put on the Hat is already cut. Like it's already a cut square that fits in my hoop, big enough, you know, for like sizing, like this is how much I need for the hoop, right? So I kind of want to just keep on going and do Put on the Hat last because it's already a cut piece of fabric. And I showed y'all last time I have all the colors already picked out. These are the Put on the Hat colors. And then so what I have left, the last two that I have to start is I Hear the Bells and Grown with Love. So I'll probably do the Christmas one next, because the other reason is I'm just super excited to get into these like vintage Christmas colors. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm so glad. I cannot thank you enough, Carmen, for suggesting that I just start knocking out these smaller ones. And I know also last week I said like I want to mix in every week like a little bit of work on one of the bigger projects like Christmas rules. This was not the week to do it. I've gotten in a good amount of stitching because these are small, but and I know like if I would have like given it like 1 or 2 nights this week, some stitching, I could have finished like a rule and maybe gotten another one like started. I can start doing that next week. Actually, maybe in August, because next week I'm going to be studying. It's going to be semi-stressful preparing for that interview, because I know that I know this stuff. I don't know if I know all the technical words. I'm a very hands-on person, and all of my knowledge and background in this stuff, which I have a fair amount, has all been hands-on. But being asked it in a technical question way, I overthink things. I'm overthinking how complicated this could be. And so that's just who I am. I was trying to tell one of my friends who was like, just breathe, it'll be fine. And I'm like, yeah, but I was like, I have 11 tattoos, and every time I've gotten a new one, I feel the same way. Like, oh gosh, how much is it gonna hurt? Like, what does it feel like? Like, it's like my brain forgets how to do something until it's happening. And so it just, it is. That's just how my brain functions. It'll be good. I know that it'll be good, and I'm gonna do my best, and it will be what it will be. At some point, you can only study so much, you can only know so much, and you just keep on praying, and at some point, it's in God's hands. So, anyways, I think that's kind of my plan for this upcoming week. Is there might be another, like, day or two that I don't stitch, just like this week. I think I didn't stitch for at least one day, I know for sure, since last Friday. And I'm just gonna get as much done as I possibly can. I'm not trying to pressure myself, and that seems to be doing really good. So we'll see them one more time. Where Liberty Dwells, really, really, really like this one. I think it came out fantastic. And then the Live Within Your Harvest. And like I said, I love the original colors of this too. They're just less my style. So, jazz it up, make it fit your home, your aesthetic more. All the charts are beautiful the way that they are charted, but no one is gonna come to your house and be like, why did you put pink in this? It was purple. So, live your best wild stitchy life. And I think that's about it. That's kind of like where my headspace is on, as far as, like, I know I said I was going to do the Halloween next and kind of do them in the order of the seasons, but I really would love to lessen how much is in this bag. And that seems like the best way to do it, is to lessen how big this piece of fabric is. So that's what we're gonna do. Also, check out my Instagram. I do have some D-stash up at the moment. And yeah, thank you guys who have already bought some of the D-stash that has been posted, but I do still have some items up. And as I finish these will also go up. So if the only one out of the series of 6 that I don't still have in my possession, because I de-stashed it last year, is the Osei King. You see, I am de-stashing them, just the patterns. They do come with the velveteen, but the leftover is not enough for somebody to choose to do another stack pillow or drum. So it's just the pattern. If you are interested in having me take down the listing, right now, since I'm not done with Live Within Your Harvest, that one's not posted yet. So the only one currently up is Where Liberty Dwells, out of the 5 that I still have in my possession. If you are interested in getting those 5, and then you would just have to purchase Osei Can You See somewhere else, let me know. Send me a DM or leave it in a comment. I will take it down, and I will reserve the 5 for you for a price, or like for the price that I would put them up for, and you would get primo pick if you wanted to get all 5 of them. But I'm trying to stitch them as fast as I can, so it might be a few weeks. But let me know if you are interested in that. I wish I had the full 6, but I thought that I was going to stitch them a lot faster a year ago, so I didn't really think about it. So a year ago or 2 years ago, when did these come out? 2018. They started coming out in 2018. Just kidding. I did this one 2 years ago. Possibly 3. I don't know. What is time? What is time? Anyways, some exciting stuff coming up that I can't wait to tell you about, but you're gonna have to wait a little bit. And yeah, I hope that y'all are having a fantastic week, getting lots of stitching in. Let me know what you're working on and just what's going on with you, and let's have some fun conversations, and I will see y'all next week. Bye guys.